Dude, I had a lot. This was
Did you?
actually the
Cool.
most successful hunting season I had. Now, to be honest, I'm not a great hunter. I'm not
Dude,
a hunter that you.
Guilty as charged.
I know, but people say that. Okay, people say that. I've never killed a buck until this season. But the thing is
Did you kill a buck this season?
Yeah, but
Okay, man.
well, hold on. It
don't
was
care what it was.
like a 1-year-old or a 2-year-old. That's I don't know.
Dude, that one right there. I didn't even know what
Mine
he was when
it
he came.
was like that.
Oh, that's a nice buck, man.
Yeah.
It's a nice buck.
So that's the one thing that kind of scares me a little bit is like I don't want people thinking that I'm a killer or a hunter, like or not a hunter, but like a really good hunter.
Right.
Because in reality I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm still learning.
But you love it.
Yeah.
Like you're passionate about it.
I love it. Yeah.
You're only passionate about whitetails? Or there's something else?
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. Elk? Would you ever hunt elk?
I would hunt.
Would you hunt elk out of your saddle?
I would. Yeah.
Oh, let's do it.
I mean, who wouldn't? That'd be
Apply
sweet.
for PA.
Instagram, BullPath Gear, Facebook. I think it's just BullPath, and then my website bullpathgear.com.
It's like if you were on WWE, all right?
Okay.
What would be your entrance
My
song?
entrance song
Yep.
would be probably that Kanye West song. La 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 la. Wait till I get.
Welcome back to the Backcountry PA podcast. I am Cody.
And I'm Ethan.
First off, we have XOP, which is a great mobile hunting company. They sell saddle gear, they sell mobile stands, all that kind of good stuff. If you don't know what XOP is, you must be living underneath the rock, put it that way, because they're pretty big. Save some money, save 15% on all orders by using code BackcountryPA15, and once again, that's 15% off your entire order.
Next, we have Forget Genetics, mineral and supplement company here based in Pennsylvania. Local, veteran-owned. If you have private land and you want to put some food out.
No public, people. No
please.
public. We've
Yeah,
been
we
finding
do.
that way too much.
Yeah, we don't condone public land baiting here in Pennsylvania, so please
No.
do not do that. But if you want to save money on some of that, use code BACKCTRYPA for 20% off your order.
And a newer one we have now. Now, Bow Creek was just a partner. Bow Creek Outdoors was just a partner that we supported. They supported us. Matt has since given us a discount code. A 25% discount on all cameras and solar panels. So use BCPA25 and save 25% on all cameras and solar panels.
Next, we have our Grounds Coffee.
There you go.
With the discount code of BCPA, you get 15% off all orders. I could not get through a single night without drinking his coffee. So if you want some good coffee and not have to run to the bathroom every 5 minutes, go to our Grounds Coffee and save some money.
We have a cool one, camp.co to be exact. Go check them out on Instagram. They have a website, all that kind of good stuff. They sell a lot of homemade goods, American homemade goods. They customize them too, cutting boards, you name it, they can make it out of wood. Save 10% on order with BCPA 10. Once again, that's 10% off your whole order. And the other partners we have, Scent Thief, and Ethan, you're wearing the shirt.
On X,
Boom, there you go. All right, remember guys, keep hunting,
keep fishing.
and always, it's going to be weird to hear yourself talk.
Holy smokes! Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, that's trippy. I think we're good though.
Yeah, I can hear you. So you can hear me?
Yep.
Perfect, man. All right. So, Drew, welcome to the Backcountry PA podcast, man.
Thanks.
I
Thanks for
introduced you
having me.
at my garage.
Yeah.
I'm Cody.
Yep.
So, quickly for the listeners, we're here because of BullPath.
Yep.
Right? You came the whole way from Ohio, which is very impressive
Yep.
to come here to do this podcast. Very thankful for it because I always love in-person guests. It's a lot more enjoyable than like over TV and stuff. It's nice.
Yeah.
You can still see people talk and all that kind of stuff, but man, just in person is just so much more fun.
Yeah.
Like you can read people and all
Yeah.
that kind of
Connect.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, it's fun. So, quickly for the listeners, give a little background of like who you are, kind of.
Okay.
Maybe like when you got in hunting, because I'd listened to another podcast you were on and you didn't get into it the way most PA hunters would have got into it. So, like for PA hunters, it's most like rifle hunting or your generational stuff, you know. That's pretty much how most PA hunters get into it. So, like, how did you get into it? How did you get started into the hunting realm before we got to BullPath?
Okay. So, I mean, the way I started hunting is as I was growing up, my father had a bunch of friends that were also hunters, and just seeing them, always going to their houses for like little events like UFC fights, football games, or whatever. I'd walk in and then I'd see like a buck on the wall, and I would see their bows on the wall, and everybody was like that. So that just, that always caught my eye, and I always thought that was super cool. So when I started getting older, I was asking like my dad's friends, like, hey, how do I get into hunting and stuff? And they told me that I need to get into, the hunter education safety course. And that's how I began. I went there when I was 16. My dad drove me to Marengo, Ohio to get it done.
Okay.
12-hour class. I took it, passed, and that's my hunting career when I first started.
I heard that on the last one too, and I thought it was very interesting because it has changed since like you and I both got into hunting, really. Because like I remember I went to Delachess, which is like where my dad is part of gun club. So like I went there and did the course in person. And it was like you had to like wait on like a panel of people to like grade your test.
That's what happened to us.
And
too.
it was like that now, because I went down to, where did I have to go? I think it was to Illinois. When I first went out to Illinois 2 years ago, I had to redo my hunter safety course.
Really?
Because for some reason they couldn't find my card. Because they have, I don't have my wallet in here, but they have you could get a hunter card, hunter certificate or whatever it is. Like it's an actual card you put in your wallet. And I needed that to get a tag for Illinois. So I was like, I got an email back saying they can't find it. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I know, because I was like, I'm getting a hunting license every year. I know I'm doing this legally. Like, what do you mean you can't find it?
Yeah.
So I had to retake it. And the only option was like during COVID, like right after COVID. So like everything was online at that point. So I had to redo it online. And like, I didn't learn anything from that because I knew all the answer already. But yet also it was like, if a kid has a short attention span, they're not going to sit here and like go through everything, read through everything that's put there. Like it's crazy to think that we deal with high-powered weapons like rifles and bows and crossbows now too. I mean, flintlocks, I'm not even going to put flintlocks in there because flintlocks are like, they're high-powered when they go off, put it that way. But it's crazy to think that we're putting so much I don't know, like trust in people just to read the stuff and like they know what they're doing, like because at those hunter safety courses they like taught you how to hold a gun, taught you how to do this.
It was all in depth. Everything in person. They passed around guns for us. They showed us how to properly make sure everything's safe and the safety procedure of walking with the gun. And so do they still do that today with online courses?
I haven't looked it up in a while, but I think they do. I don't really know. I think the Game Commission does. The PA Game Commission, I think they do a few in person, but I think most of them are like virtual or on the internet. Like just sit behind the computer desk and read this stuff, and then answer questions at the very end, and then go from there. But I don't think a lot of them are really in person anymore, which kind of sucks to say.
Yeah, it does suck. I would I don't know, man. Just like as the world goes on, it's just like we're all being pushed to be online, and it's just kind of weird.
Isn't that weird that I do a podcast and I talk about them?
Yeah. But your podcast, that's information and information people can learn and stuff. But I'm talking like when it's actually like learning to, skin a deer or how to properly walk through the woods and not kill somebody. And I feel like that's pretty important.
That's
to
a
learn
very important thing to learn.
Yeah.
I had a situation 2 years ago where I was sitting in my tree stand, and it was a ladder stand, so I wasn't into the mobile hunting yet per se. But this guy comes down during rifle. I'm sitting right here. My other buddy's like down about 200 yards away from me. Like we kind of have this area covered, so like if any deer comes, like we'd be able to shoot it. This guy comes between us, and like I'm like wave my orange hat, like bright orange hat. Like I wear a lot of orange when it's rifle season because I'm like, I don't want to even run the risk of getting shot, right? So like I'm waving my hat, and this dude, he's an older guy, I can tell, and he looks up, and I'm like, okay, he saw me, but like he's walking through this bedding area, just like taking his time, takes a few steps, stops, takes a few steps, stops, and I'm still waving my orange hat because I'm like, there's no point in me like trying to stay still because there's no deer going to come up right now. So, and then he keeps pulling his gun up and like looking at it like this. I'm like, not like at me, but like in straight ahead.
Yeah, your area.
And I'm like, what is this guy doing?
Yeah.
And like and then he gets in front of me, like 150 yards, I would say, and he stops and just stands there. I'm like, what the heck is, like, he knows I'm right here. Like, what is he doing? So I get out. I'm like, hey, like, what are you doing? Like, you just saw my hat up there. He was like, oh, I never even saw you up there. I'm like, I'm a bright orange thing in a tree. Like, how can you not see me? And I look at his gun. There's not even a scope on it. It's open sight. So he's just pulling up his gun, looking at the open sight of, like, the horizontal lines on a deer. Like that. I mean, I get that, but also that's not safe. Like, that's not safe at all.
Yeah.
And to think someone would teach that.
I don't know, man. I've seen a lot of crazy hillbilly stuff. A lot of people do some crazy stuff. So it's like, that doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
there could be a lot worse.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yes.
I don't know. It's just making sure you're safe and learning, you know, proper stuff so you don't accidentally kill somebody or kill yourself.
Yeah, because you have that, like, a couple years, like a couple years in a row, there's been shootings, like during either turkey season, which we're in right now, which today is, in podcast world, this is April 27th. In the real world, I don't know when this is going to release. I think it's going to be either episode 199 or episode 201. I'm not 100% sure yet.
Okay.
So that's for all the listeners out there. This is predated pretty much. But right now it's turkey season. I'm not big into turkey at all.
Same here.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know.
I don't know, man. First off, I don't like the idea of walking through the woods with other people with guns. I don't like that idea. I don't want to be surrounded by people with guns. That's just my thing. And I don't know. Like, bow hunting, that's cool.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of people walking on the ground or just sitting posted up to a tree with a shotgun, and I don't know. Kind of sketchy.
Well, a lot of people are getting to that the reaping game. So like they want to have the turkey fan in front of them as they crawl through the woods and do all that kind of stuff, or in the field. And I'm like, I just can't.
Dude,
I can't
do it.
I don't even want to run the risk.
Yeah.
Right. Like if I hunt turkey, it's going to be on a private farm where I only have access to, and I'm in a blind, and I'm doing that. Like I'm not going to go out there in public, crawl through managed plots and all that kind of stuff, and have this fan in front of me, or even walk around with camo on.
Yeah.
Because if someone sees, oh, that's it's blue, it's moving. If I have blue on, or like if I have like if they see something that looks blue and they shoot, it's like, man, it's BBs, but it's gonna.
I know it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. Did you see the Facebook guy that got shot? He got hit in the face. It was like he was probably a kid our age.
Was it recently or was it last year?
It was recently here. He got hit in the face with a BB.
Yeah.
He went through his like upper lip. He got hit with like on the arm and stuff.
Holy crap!
And he said that the guy was like 60 yards away, pointed the shotgun at him and just shot. And yeah, if it would have been closer, he probably would have been dead.
100%. I think someone I saw one guy got shot in the ass.
Yeah.
Like by a shotgun. And I'm like, dude, like what are these people? And that's goes back to like the hunter safety course, right? Like we need like the like I'm not saying every situation calls for an in-person class, but if you're a new hunter, brand new, say you're I don't even know what the age is now to do the hunter safety. I think it's 12 still, but then there's juniors that can go out 7 years old. Like, I don't know. I think if you're a youngin' and you need to go do in person because that's important to me.
Yeah.
Like I think, like I would want my daughter to do an in person, not on the internet, or like I would want, like if it is on the internet, it has to be broken up, I think, in little pieces. Like an hour here for 12 days, you do an hour.
Oh yeah.
Like, because the attention spans of a kid and even grown adults now are very, very small for that. So that's my little rabbit hole.
I mean, honestly, dude, I don't like having like people tell what other, making somebody do something. But honestly, I wouldn't be against the idea to like maybe once every 5 or 10 years revisiting the class, but a shorter version and just learning like this, I don't know, just like the safety of weapons and.
I agree with that, honestly. Like, I think you should be, because here's the thing, as hunters, like I said, we carry high-powered weapons around. So, like, we should have to go through, or should, I won't even say have to, but, like, there should be that opportunity to do that every 5 years, something like that.
Yeah.
Like, have it there. Like, if you know someone or, like, that you think should go through it, it's almost like an elderly driver, right? Like, when they hit 6 years old, I think that every year after that, they should be taking a driver's test again because they can suck sometimes at driving, right? Yeah. So, like, I do agree that maybe that wouldn't be a bad idea. Maybe like even if it's like depending on your age,
Yeah.
5 years, or depending on your age, 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're 12, you don't have to retake it till you're 22. Like if you passed it good and you were good and you don't break the laws or anything like that.
Yeah.
Then I think that'd be a good idea to do every 10 years.
Maybe. But like I
Yeah.
said, I don't like when the government or anybody tells us what to do. So
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's very true.
I'm just hoping people do their own due diligence, practice safety, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know.
That's what
That's all you can hope for.
That's all you can hope for.
Yeah.
That's all you can hope for, especially in this industry or community that we're in. Yeah, that I agree that I think it wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah.
Really, it wouldn't be, especially if it was handling safety,
Oh yeah.
like gun safety, especially for guns. I think guns would be a big one. So we got the background on you,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So then I want to get into a little bit of BullPath here.
Okay.
Because it's very interesting, right? Like it's, you see saddle companies popping up all the time, right? So what happened that you were like, oh, you know what? It's time. I'm just going to do this.
Okay.
And then I have a few questions because I've read it on your website. Obviously, I listen to the podcast,
Yeah.
so I know. But for the listeners, tell them pretty much what got this started.
Okay. So there's two actually events that started me to, get BullPath created. But the first one is now my timelines are kind of screwed up just because I have two businesses, BullPath, and then I run a landscaping company.
Okay.
So there's so much time that that gets lost in my memory.
Yeah.
But I went to go hunt, I think opening day in 2020 or 2021, somewhere right around there. I walked up to where I had my tree stand and everything placed the week prior. I was pumped and excited.
Yeah.
And then as I was walking through the woods, I got to my tree stand tree and quickly realized everything was missing. I lost my safety line, my tree stand that I had at the time, and a couple other things that I had up there. Also, like my tether that was up there, for my harness. Everything was missing, and it really made me mad. And that was like, a pivotal moment in my life for BullPath, but that pissed me off. And
Yeah.
I literally, from that day, I called my girlfriend and I told her, like, this, I will never allow someone to steal my hunting shit ever again.
Right.
So I never knew about saddle hunting, never heard of it. And then someday I found the Hunting Public. I saw them, they were using saddles, and I just instantly just dove head in.
Yeah.
And I got really excited, and I was like, holy crap, I don't have to worry about a tree stand anymore. I don't have to carry it up a tree. I don't have to walk through the woods with one.
Yep.
I can just wear this thing and go up in a tree, not have to worry about anything. So I did a lot of research, found out what I wanted, and that's how it started for me on the one event. And then the second event was when I went to my local outfitter. It was to buy, all the saddle gear that I wanted. And after that, I got everything rounded up. It came out to like $1,000 or $1,500. I was pretty pumped.
Yeah.
Brought it back home. Opened up my competitor's saddle.
Yeah.
I saw it, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like got a little sad and upset just because I was like,
Yeah.
are you kidding me? I paid this much money for this, and I just
Yeah.
kept looking at it. And I'm like, dude, I can make this. Now, mind you, I have had no experience with anything when it comes to sewing.
That's what I was going to
fabrics.
ask, because like it's
Dude.
like when I heard that, I was like, you open up a box and you're like, I can do this.
Yeah.
I mean, I look at your saddle because I bought one,
Yeah.
and we'll dive into that because I have a GoPro actually, so we can actually lay it out here and you can go through it. But I was like, my first thought is like, not that I can do it. I look at him like, this looks complicated as
is.
F, right?
Yeah.
It's like there's it's cool, and I'll get into that because I really like your saddle. First of all, like I took the jump, and I was like, I'm just gonna buy it. Like before you even brought one here, I'm like, I'm gonna buy one, so
Yeah.
like I can put my hands on it. But what? How did you know that you could do it? Like, because I'm like,
Here's the
I think
thing.
it's a special person, right?
I think so, maybe. But the way I grew up, I've faced a lot of adversity growing up. Okay, And I've also, a year prior, before I got into saddle hunting, I've been running a landscaping business. So actually, for my landscaping business, I am translating everything that I learned from my landscaping business into my saddle hunting business when it comes to like quality of work, customer service, communication, all that. So I've translated it. But since I'm an entrepreneur, you know, I just have that mindset, like whatever I plan to get done, I'm gonna do it, you know, and I'm gonna do it, and that's just how I'm wired, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. Like and I didn't know that you had a landscape business too. So like, you probably take like, it's not like necessarily comparable, but like you take the business aspect of that, right? Like you just said, and you're like, okay, this is how I make a profit on this here, right? And a landscape company, like your big thing is like USA type stuff, USA made, all that, like the landscaping business. You're literally in the USA. Like there's no like you can't like outsource landscaping to like China or like Ukraine or anything like that. Like you can't do that. So like you have to do it in house. So like that's what you want to do with BullPath. And I love that. Like it's hard to do that though in the hunting industry because like there's so much you have to get from overseas, right? Like, you can do it, but also money wise,
it is a very big burden if you go the route of just sourcing everything through the USA.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, dude, it's like a, oh man, there has been so much research that has gone into getting the materials and stuff for all of our gear, dude. It's been a nightmare.
Yeah.
And just trying to work with USA manufacturers, it's been a headache.
I'm sure
99% of them, they require you a $10,000 deposit just for one type of webbing.
My gosh.
Yeah, it's just for one piece of webbing. Like that's their minimum. 10 grand, you just get this and that's it. And sometimes the lead times for manufacturers is 16 to 18 weeks. So you put $10,000 down for some mesh or what have you, you're going to be waiting 18 weeks just to get it. So
oh my gosh. So it's like, man, there's a big wait time for that. Like that's like, okay, like it's almost like that mindset. Like if you're waiting that long, did I just like buy something? Like I just scammed?
Yeah,
like that kind of thing.
Like
you're dropping 10 grand and you're waiting for this stuff and you don't get it for multiple months. And it's like, I got freaking scammed. Like, this is a scam.
It sucks.
Yeah.
Working with people like that. But, you know, to be honest, I'm willing to do that just so I can build a relationship with the, you know, our manufacturers.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. I want them to recognize me more. I want to help them and support them in what they do, and they help me in return, you know.
Yeah, have they like, has the relationship started to grow since like doing this?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's two companies that I mainly work with for the majority of my stuff. I'm not going to sit here and say like they know me, but I feel like I have a good, you know, relationship with the representatives that I talk to.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So eventually, hopefully, you know, the more and more that we get bigger, the more and more I can work with them, and then, you know, it'd be a lot nicer.
Yeah. So like, from that moment, you're like, I'm going to build this saddle. You said, let's go back there. So you look at this saddle, you're like, I can build this. So keep going from there.
Okay, so after that, so like I said, I started a landscaping business way back, but I make actually a really decent amount of money to be able to afford something like this. So I started off, I bought a little residential, I wouldn't even say residential, but just like a real cheap Singer sewing machine.
I think
that
my wife has one in the garage if you want
it. No. I ran with that thing for like a month, but the issue is that I could never get the fabric, like the 2 layers of I could never sew more than 2 layers of fabric.
Okay.
Needles would always break.
Yeah.
And I'm like sitting here thinking like, dude, there has to be like a better sewing machine to actually make this to work, you know?
Right.
So I found out that there are actual, you know, sewing machines that can handle a lot of abuse and stuff. So I bought those and just started going to town from there. But the thing is man, oh man, like the amount of hours, the amount, I mean, I'm talking the amount of time that I had to just learn about sewing and materials and thread tensioning and what thread to use with the fabrics and all that, dude. It has been very hard, very disheartening. And to be honest, it's only been like it's getting close to a year, but sometimes I'm like wondering how in the world did I pull this off just for like just a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I took home ec, right? Like I took home ec in high school, and I sewed a pillow together.
Yeah.
Like that's the extent of mine.
Mhm.
So you went into it with no background at all, and like,
None.
did you learn most of this from like YouTube or like Googling stuff?
Yep.
Like that's it.
Forums, YouTubing, Googling.
Yeah.
And dude, you have to put in a lot of time to learn, how to properly sew stuff because it is it's bad, man. Like there's so many questions that I've always wondered, like how do I do this? How do I do that? And I'd spend 4 hours digging into forums on how to properly do something, and and then when you try to do it for the first time, you don't do it right, and then you got to redo it, and eventually you do it 1,000 times, and then you get it done right.
So when you after you sat in that saddle for a little bit, right? You how many hunts do you think you had in that saddle, that your competitor saddle?
Probably like 20 or so.
20? Okay.
Yeah,
Was that like
somewhere
one
right
season?
I think no, it was 2 seasons.
2 seasons? Okay.
Yeah. It was. I know. I think it was 2 seasons. I remember hunting one season with it. Didn't hunt too much that year, and then the following season I hunted with it.
Okay.
And I think that's
Okay.
it.
Yeah, and then so from those 2 years of hunting with that, were you still working on that saddle? Like in the meantime, you were trying to figure out how to make a saddle.
This was actually this was kind of so my first year of hunting with that saddle. I didn't think about because I didn't have the money at the time. It was the tail end of my landscaping season. So once I picked up, landscaping again, that's when I started going deep into saddle hunting with like the sewing and everything.
Yeah.
So I started June 1st of last year. That's when I got the sewing machine at my house, and that's when I started sewing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how many times did it take to to get like this at least one saddle for you to use? How long did it take for you to get one saddle for you to use?
Honestly, to actually use, it was like the first 4 saddles.
Okay.
But I wasn't happy with it. And
Right.
The materials were off. I didn't like the way it looked.
Yeah.
And I think I built like over 20 different saddles, somewhere right around there.
Okay.
And then that's when I came up with that idea.
Yeah.
And I just started from there. And once I got my own design, that's when I started improving just little things over time.
Yeah.
Like the first editions of the bull threat, I didn't have those little suspender holders right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So then I added those in, and just just little tweaks here and there. The webbing's actually different from the original bull threat saddle. So
all right.
yeah.
Yeah, it's cool to see. Like, what was that feeling?
I cried.
You cried.
I cried when I first got.
That's a good feel. I like to hear that.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
It was. I'm being serious. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy to think that you spend so much time and energy and money on something, and then all of a sudden it comes to fruition, and then you can actually sit in it, and it's just like, holy crap, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So comparing, obviously yours is very nice, but I want to hear like the comparison between you and the competitor, because I've actually hunted in 2 saddles, one trophy line and one XOP, the XOP Mondo. Trophy lines I didn't like because it hit pinch, and it was too bulky, too many buckles, it was too heavy, all that kind of stuff. The webbing, like I guess the webbing up top, the
waist belt.
Yeah, like the mollies on the side.
Oh yeah, the mollies. Yeah.
So those things right there, I feel like that was too bulky. Like it wasn't easy to use. The XOPs felt cheap. Put it that way. It was good for like a tree stand harness, but it wouldn't be good for. I used it for a saddle, and it wasn't good. Too many clips for that too. So I haven't gotten yours in a tree yet, but just the way it feels on me, it feels a lot nicer than how trophy lines and XOPs felt. And I've sat in a cruiser and latitude at the Great American Outdoor Show, and they have their perks, right? But I don't know, like it was just yours feels a lot different. I don't know what it is, to be honest with you. But man, it just feels.
It might be the American
different.
materials, man.
It might be, honestly.
Everything on there, except for, like I said, the tubular webbing, isn't American manufactured. But the cool thing is, actually, I found a supplier to be able to supply the tubular webbing for USA materials.
Really?
Yep. But everything's American made, man.
See how I modded it already?
Yep. Looks sweet.
It's my camera arm. Put that there, and I have the camera strap right here
Yep.
in the side, which actually I really like that. And then this is where I put the backband at.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just, these here, I'll turn the GoPro on so people can actually see it. But this part right here, you don't see that too much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think there's any other saddle that has that.
I don't think. Are you talking about for the sand pouch?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't think. As far as I know, I haven't seen any saddle hunting company that makes a pouch like this design.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the reason why I made this is because using the traditional mesh pouches,
Yeah.
they're lighter and quieter, but dude, my first year of hunting with them, it pissed me off so much just to try to put in my own roping, in the bag,
Mm-hmm.
and it would always concave in on itself. And
Yeah.
I was just like, dude, I can't handle it anymore.
Yeah. It was nice to, and then these here, like this part right here, when you put it on, it's not bulky, is what I'm talking about. Like when I put I forget even which one it was from Trophy Line, but like when I put that thing on, it just felt uncomfortable, like to begin with, and then like also like the crotch area, it wasn't comfortable.
Yeah.
Like your straps on this are extremely comfortable, and then also there's not metal there, so there's not buckling it in, right? So like that is the cool part with yours. So I mean, and the logo is cool too.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it's just like in my mind, like obviously I pump primarily whitetails, right? That's what I'm going to use this for 100% of the time. Mm-hmm. My thought though was like, man, that blue, I wonder if deer are going to see that. Like right away, I'm like, but it's so small, I don't think it's going to really matter. But I'm like,
I hunted a lot out of my own, and I haven't had any issues.
Dude, that's good.
Along with other people. So.
Yeah.
But there could be an issue. I didn't really think about it too much when it came to the design.
Yeah. I mean, it almost looks more gray anyway on here. Mm-hmm. Like I don't think it'll be stand out too much, honestly. So I'm not worried about it. But like obviously in my mind, like with studying whitetails so much, it's like I was like, oh man, that's blue. Mm-hmm. But I don't think there's really gonna. I don't think it would really matter that much.
Well, if it does, just let me know. I'll try to come up with a different color or something.
Well, I mean, I don't think you have to change colors necessarily. You could just you could make it like
more gray or something.
Yeah, more grayish. But that would be the only thing.
Yeah.
But it's not like it's a bright blue like this mic right here, right? Mm-hmm. So I mean, it should be. It's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this part right here was what I was referring to for the Trophy Line. That wasn't quite. It wasn't comfortable at all, to be honest. Like this is a saddle. It was pinching me all the time. Without the backband on, it sucked. Mm-hmm. Like it wasn't comfortable to be in.
Yeah.
And I'm one too that I like to I think people need to know of certain things of like which companies are saying they're USA made and they're not actually USA made. Mm-hmm. I've actually gone to because I've been looking for a backpack for saddle hunting. To carry my sticks, my platform, all that kind of stuff. So I've been doing some research, and I've seen that Trophy Line, they advertise as USA made, right? But yet their backpacks themselves are made in Taiwan or something like that. So like it's you see that stuff, and it's like, why are they doing that?
Yeah.
I like how you on your website you're on. It's like you're gonna do everything in house, right? There's only one part really you can't get in the U.S. right now.
I've gotten it.
That's right.
It's
you just said
way.
that. Yeah. So that's pretty exciting, right? Mm-hmm. Everything completely made, manufactured here in the U.S.
Yep.
And by your own hands too.
Yeah, it's crazy. I literally, I made this.
I'm gonna have you sign this before we leave. So.
Okay. Yeah, I made this, man. It's crazy. It's
that's
so weird.
Absolutely insane.
It's kind of surreal, dude. It's kind of weird.
Isn't it weird to look at it now in someone else's house?
Yeah. And in a different state.
State, yeah.
It's so crazy to think about because this was all raw, dude. I built this.
Yeah, so I want to. So I don't want to give too much out because if a competitor listens to this, I don't want them to see it I'm going to do that now. Mm-hmm. So roughly, what's the step like to make the saddle, and even doesn't it have to get approved by a certain standard or something like that to be put out as a saddle?
You can. Right? I mean, you can.
Right.
I haven't done it. I'm in the works of it.
Okay.
I do know you can go through OSHA to have it OSHA fall restraint or whatever, certified. I know a lot of companies don't do that, and I also know there's some that do. So, What we did is we tested it thoroughly, and like our very first saddle that we
Yeah.
ever made, we tested it kind of like
Okay.
a hillbilly way.
Yeah.
But we tested
What's the
it.
hillbilly way?
We were so I had it hooked up to a tree. We were
Okay.
throwing cinder blocks. Oops, sorry. We were throwing cinder blocks on top of it, trying to snap every portion.
So you had it laying like upside down like this, kind of,
Yep.
and you were just throwing
We
cinder
had it
blocks.
split.
Like
Yeah,
in?
we were throwing cinder blocks. We were lifting heavy stuff with it with a tractor,
Yeah.
just trying to break it. And,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, nothing happened except for when the cinder blocks came down. I still used that saddle to hunt out of.
Yeah.
It ripped the mesh a little
Yeah,
bit.
I could see that because I could definitely see that.
Yeah, and I use that saddle. I've used it all last year.
Yeah.
And that's my saddle since I tested the piss out of it.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So I'll have to keep that in mind because I have the XOP sticks, the X2s, and their grip on them are kind of like a sandpaper type. So like it would be kind of like the cinder blocks. So like that would be.
I don't think you're gonna rub that raw, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, we threw the cinder blocks like probably 10 times before it started to actually scuff it
Really?
out. Yeah.
Holy crap.
I mean, this is nylon mesh and it's really thick. So I mean, maybe over time, if you
Yeah.
have like sandpaper and you're rubbing it against it,
Yeah.
you might do a little something.
But even then, it's like it still works.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, but that's the thing. You say this is super thick.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is like one of the thinnest that I've felt, like
Really?
kind of saddle wise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I shit you not. Like this is actually like it. When people advertise it as extra light and packable and comfortable, they're not. Put it that way. Like, but this here, like, I hate to sound like an infomercial to people right now, but like, this saddle is very comfortable. Like, it's a very comfortable saddle. Like, the one thing that I wish would change would be like this buckle here. Like, I know, like, you can put like use a buckless one. Like, you can put another one of these here.
Yeah.
Like,
yep.
that would
I've
be the
thought
only.
about that.
That'd be the only thing,
Yeah,
really.
I've thought about that.
Yeah.
But I just like having the idea of just a American-made buckle right there.
Yeah.
But you know, it's whatever the customers want. So
Yeah.
I mean, if I get enough people telling me, "Hey, why don't you guys switch to just like a rope belt?"
Yeah.
I'd be more than happy to.
Yeah,
So,
I mean it's good either way.
Yeah.
Like the thing I like also is like this moves around,
Mm-hmm.
so I can do it back and forth. So, like if I'm wearing a belt with my pants, you can move to one side or the other. Like a lot of people don't have it, so it's movable inside.
Yeah.
So like you always have it for that middle right there where your buckle is on your belt. So it's like that makes it uncomfortable. Like, but this here I can move it to the side and not have to worry about it. Like that's a beautiful part of it. Like you honestly thought of everything when you went into this.
Yeah, I'm still thinking about it, man. Whatever I feel like there's improvements on that need to be made, I'm gonna make it. So that's why I kind of named it the V1 because I don't want it to remain the same for eternity. But
Yeah.
you're also on the flip side, I don't want to change it so much to where the people that want, the one that's being advertised or whatever, they're
Yeah.
not going to be pissed off since it's going to be different or whatever.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I'm always improving our products.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean that the stitching looks really good. I mean I don't look at stitches too much to be honest with you, but like to me from the naked eye, the stitches look amazing. So like, what was the hardest stitch to learn or to do on this saddle?
Honestly, it's all relatively easy once you do it
Okay.
about 10,000 times. It's all okay. So here's a good example.
Yeah.
Is just doing the molly web. That's probably the hardest part.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just because it's short, like it's short
And-
over here.
Yeah. Also connecting this back 2-inch webbing with the outer webbing right here.
Okay.
With the mesh in between, so you can
Okay.
create that belt. That belt hole right there for the belt.
Yeah.
That's pretty hard.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because you gotta have it slide through there.
Yep.
So it's like you don't want it to go down a little bit because then you'll stop the belt from moving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
That's pretty hard.
Yeah.
So it'd be the molly webbing, and then that belt is the hardest part. Other than that, everything's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
You just have to have a sewing machine that can handle going through all the thick stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife's won't work.
Yeah.
She bought it so she was trying to find a hobby, right? So she was like, oh, maybe I'll just sew. So she goes out and buys a sewing machine and now it just sits in the garage. I was like, I told you weren't going to sew. Like, I told you that.
Yeah.
And now it just sits there.
Yeah. It happens.
It does. I was like, that's not a good hobby to get into,
It's
just
a hard
sewing.
hobby.
Yeah.
And expensive.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. My grandmother did that
materials
for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's nice to know. Like
Yeah.
if you rip your
Yeah.
jeans or something, just
Yeah.
sew it right back up.
Yeah. I sewn sewed.
Mm-hmm.
I sewed my couch downstairs because Remy ripped it up when he was a pup.
Okay.
And so I had to sew it back together.
Yeah.
And I sewed it back together before my wife got home, put a blanket over it, and she never knew about it until she moved that blanket. And
Yeah.
then she's like, what happened here? I was like, oh, Remy just ate it. So
That's
that was,
awesome.
yeah. But it was like a really, really quick. Like it was like
Mm-hmm.
just like over, under, like with the hand. Like it wasn't anything. Like I wouldn't trust myself to make a saddle, put it that way.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't. Unless I had like a lot of time to do it, put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you kind of incorporate from? Did you just try one saddle company, or did you try multiple saddles when you were like, you know what, I want to do this, but I want to do it right?
Just one.
Just one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't work with. I
Yeah.
had the saddle what I had.
Mm-hmm.
I found out what I wanted, what I didn't like
Yeah.
about it, and then I just went from there.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. So what did you kind of incorporate from that saddle? Because, I mean, all saddles are pretty much roughly the same, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's pretty much straightforward of what a saddle is.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what did you incorporate from that saddle that you thought, hey, this would actually be a good idea for on my saddle that I'm going to make?
Trying to think here.
Because I know pretty much everything's the same, right? Like, where the ropes. Can you actually, before that, because I'm still new into saddle hunting, right? Like, I don't know all the terminology for all the different parts. So let's run through that before we answer maybe, and maybe during that you'll come to the point of like, oh, I incorporated this from the other saddle, you know? So let's go through the parts of the saddle
Okay.
to do that. So wherever you want to start, we'll go from there.
So what are you wanting to know?
So pretty much the name of the parts, like the name of the parts that you have here. So you have this stuff, like all
these
that
are the
kind of stuff.
lineman. These are the lineman's loop. This is
Okay.
where you connect your carabiners when you're going up and down the tree, to safely ascend and descend. This is just your bridge system. Here's the bridge, and you have two girth hitches connected to the actual saddle.
Mm-hmm.
So you can adjust it to wherever you want on the tubular webbing. Tubular webbing there is obviously to give the bridge a good place to have this girth hitch.
Yeah.
And it gives a nice sheath so it doesn't rub any materials raw for the webbing itself. But generally, you can place it wherever you want on this coyote brown color.
Mm-hmm.
Girth hitch it, and you're ready to rock and roll. So once you put your weight on there, it's not going to go anywhere.
Okay. All right. What's the, like? Is it
Those are for your leg straps.
okay? Oh, those are for the leg straps. Okay.
Yep. So whenever
I put it
you
in the
are
wrong spot.
yeah, that is supposed to go down here.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, there we go.
These are the saddle. These are the suspender holders. So when you have a pair of suspenders, you just slide them through these little slots.
Gotcha. And I even thought they were comfortable. The leg straps were comfortable with right here.
Really?
Yep. So now I know that they're gonna be even better right here.
Yeah. Yep. So that right there is orange, so you can actually see at nighttime where your leg straps are at. So.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So for all the listeners, that's the correct leg strap right there, not where I have it right here.
Yep.
The suspenders part was a good idea. Mm-hmm. Like that's because you see companies sell them, obviously. Mm-hmm. Is that something that you're looking into making yourself?
Eventually.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not on my priority list just because there's so many other people that make it. But, yeah. I mean, honestly, I've even used, I have suspenders of my own, just like, normal cowboy suspenders you can get from like Tractor Supply or something. You can throw those right on here and you can run those if you want.
Wear some orange ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it can clip in, you can use it as a suspender.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So this here, I mean, it's pretty straightforward, but this part right here is what I was interested in because you don't see a lot of companies do that. What would this be called here with this strap around? What did you call that?
I don't even know.
Okay.
I don't even have a name for it. I've seen it on other pouches before.
Oh, okay.
So I can just incorporate it into, our sand pouch.
Yeah. Okay.
And I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I like it too because a lot that I've seen are like buckles. So like they come around, they have a button on the side, you buckle it in, or they have Velcro, or they have some kind of like connection. But like here, it's completely quiet. Mm-hmm. Like once it's in there, and also it's not going anywhere. Mm-hmm. Like that's the thing I like is like it's not going anywhere once it's there. But I mean, the bags. I know you did something with the bags. You changed the fabric on them.
Yep, changed the fabric on them. The last fabric that we worked with, this is still 1000D, but for some reason I don't. It has. They all have like different names to them, like they're different variations.
Yeah.
That last stuff was so stiff that it was just kind of a pain to work with.
Yeah.
So I switched to this. This feels a lot more pliable, and
Okay.
I feel like it works 10,000 times better than the old bag.
I mean, I like it. Like the bags are very nice. And you have other bags too that you've made that you're making for it. The one bag, what's the one that also goes underneath that could go underneath the tree stand as well? I mean, these
That's
can
the
too.
BullPath.
Okay,
Yep.
the BullPath.
Yep.
So
That's just a lightweight bag that you can use for a lumbar bag.
Yeah.
You can attach it right here, or you can just attach it to your backpack.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I don't like carrying binos up on my chest at all. So I'll just throw it in my bull pack and have that attached to my hunting pack.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, because that's having those multiple packs. Because as a mobile hunter, you want to have multiple options. Like especially for like you just said, you don't like carrying backpacks in.
No, I
or
don't like
the
carrying
binos. The
yeah.
binos. So like. People sometimes are minimalist, right? Like they want to take in the little amount as possible.
Yep.
So like if they can take in one stick, like the one sticker guys, I don't know, do you one stick?
Nope.
Okay, because I can't get.
It looks like a pain to be honest.
It looks. I'm still confused about how they get the rope down from the top.
Yeah, same here. I haven't dived into that,
Yeah.
but it looks kind of like a pain. So I just stick to my 3 sticks.
I'll keep it easy.
Yeah.
Keep it easy. But like if you're a minimalist and you take one stick in, and your platform is already your steps, like all you need is the bull pack, right? And then you have another pack that's also hasn't come out yet, right? But it's
it's scrag bag.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, the scrag bag is just the same thing as it could be used as this, but it's just like a one-handed zippable pouch to where you don't have to sit there with 2 hands and finagle with stuff.
Yeah.
It's just more of like a premium bag.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it? How big is that?
It's like this big.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
About that tall.
I think honestly that could be really good for like those self foamers. So like say they have this on one side, they have that on the other side. You take a camera that goes in that bag.
Oh yeah.
And with the arms, like I have an arm that's in there that's very small. So like if you just put that on the back, like you have the camera on the side, and I mean you're gonna have everything right there. If you have all 3 of those pouches, you're gonna be set.
Yeah.
Because that's all you need. Like unless you don't like wearing binos, like you,
I don't
know?
like it.
Then you have to use one of the pouches as a bino holder. But like, yeah, you definitely have come up with everything, and the saddle's very nice,
I appreciate
and
it.
it's, yeah, I think it's always, you see companies come out trying to make something, and then like they die off, right? So like, what's your goal with this? Like, what's your goal with BullPath Gear?
It may sound a little extreme, but I don't want. What is my goal? I should probably be careful, huh?
For what?
My ultimate goal, man, is I want to be the leading guy. I don't want. I don't
be number one.
Yeah, be number one.
Dude.
I don't like companies that use. Dude, it just makes me mad just thinking about it.
Yeah.
People sell out. People. False advertise. They say that something's made in America, but then you look at the fine print, it says with globally materials. Just stuff like that pisses me off, and I want to take them out. So.
Yeah, dude, I think because we started the conversation a little bit on Instagram, right? And we're like, wait, this could be a good podcast conversation. So like, I do agree. I'm not fully against because I work with XOP, so it's like I'm not fully against it, but like they're open and honest about where they get the stuff.
Yeah,
like,
and
they're like,
that's what I don't have an issue with that.
Right. They're like, hey, like we're clear. People hate them for it. Like it's like but they're selling stuff at a good price for hunters that are on a budget, right? So like, but they're open and honest about saying, oh, we have warehouse in the U.S., so we're gonna say made in the U.S., right? Like that's not what they're doing. They're open and honest about it. They may get hate for it, but it's who they are. Yeah. Like they're open and honest about it. But like you have companies that
and we need people like that.
Right, to be honest.
Yeah.
And like that's and I'm open and honest about that a lot. Like especially with when I say something about Trophy Line, like Trophy Line, I worked with them for a little bit and they were not a good company to work with. Put it that way. They're not a good company to work with at all. Like there's other companies out there that have done the same thing and they're not good to work with. Heated Hunts is another one. Heated Hunts is not a good one to work with because they said, oh, we'll do this, we'll do that. They're not good. But like, people need to be open and honest about that kind of stuff because you don't want to know. You want to know what you're buying. Honestly, you want to know what you're buying, and you know, buying primarily USA made or buying USA made completely is something that I think all of us want to do, but it's just hard to do.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. We need people, companies that sell budget stuff,
Yeah,
because
you do.
we're not going to be able to afford the nicest things all the time. But I just don't appreciate the people that claim that they do something and in reality they don't. That's what I don't like.
Yeah.
So, if you're open, if you're honest, and you are, you have like a budget line that's made in China, and you have a premium line that's made in America. That's cool. I have
That is cool.
I have no beef with that or whatever. But it's just once you start lying about certain things, that's what I don't like.
I feel like you're not going to answer it though, but I want to know what company it was.
What do you mean? Like what company?
What company did you the saddle?
The saddle?
Yeah.
I can't tell you. I can't tell you.
Tell me off air then.
Yeah, I can
Okay,
tell you.
okay.
Oh, it's not
All
that
right.
big of a deal, but I
Yeah.
don't want. My thing is that I'm trying to stay low key when
Yeah.
it comes to the bigger guys.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, they're massive.
Yeah. Have you? Because I know companies like will try and like push someone out, right? Like bigger companies will try and push someone out because they're a competitor now. Like, especially if they see you getting traction, they're like, "Oh man, we gotta take this." Like, has anyone like? You don't have to. I don't want you to name names, but like, has anyone like reached out, be like, "Hey, like, you got a pretty cool product there. Like, what do you think about working for us or helping us out instead?" No.
Nope,
Wow.
I've had nothing, but also you got to realize in the business realm, there's a lot of stuff that are behind the scenes that nobody will see,
Right.
but it's directly affected towards me or other people.
Yeah.
For instance, a massive company can start buying out manufacturing plants or something to where, hey, you sell us all the material, but under the circumstance of not selling any to this guy,
Yeah.
Just stuff like that I wouldn't be able to tell if they're doing that or whatever,
Right.
but I haven't seen anything yet.
Yeah.
I don't know if I will. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. I don't know.
But then, like, if something like that happens, like you're going to still try to do due diligence and like find a warehouse that makes the stuff that you need. Like that's your goal is to do everything in the USA.
Streamlined everything.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's.
I don't want any portion, any of our stuff. I don't want to be related, or I just don't want to work with any overseas, anything of that nature. I don't.
Yep.
I'm sick and tired of it.
Yep.
I'm for America, and I'm patriotic, and I don't like the way that our economy has been and the way the world is going towards, and I'm just sick and tired of it, and
Yeah.
I'm going to stick to what I think is right.
Now let me ask you this, because like I know, for me personally, being patriotic and all that kind of stuff, you get heat from certain people, right? Like saying, "Oh, you're too patriotic." Have you gotten that, like, for being too patriotic as a company?
No, and
No,
if they
not yet.
did,
Okay.
if they did, fuck them.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah. No.
How can you be too patriotic to a country that you live in?
I agree. I
So
agree.
if they think that, fuck them.
Yep.
Sorry if you don't like cussing, but
no, I'm all for it.
I don't care. If you want to say that I'm
Yeah.
too patriotic, if you want to say like, oh, whatever, I don't care.
No, I love that, because I think there's two different ways people do it. Like the very religious route type thing, and the USA made, and they don't push the USA made. They just push the religious side, which I have nothing against religion. I'm not. I don't go to church. I don't do that kind of stuff. But like I'm a religious guy. Like faithful. Put it that way.
Same here.
Like my church is the woods. Like that's what I do, and you have that side where like you have the extreme religious side company where they push the stuff down your throat, and then you have the extreme American side company. Like, but I think both sides are good because both American made stuff. So I think, from the outside, like if there's an outside person looking in from the outside, they were looking in like not even hunting at all. They'd see it, be like, what the heck is this? Like, why is this guy so patriotic? But like,
Yeah, I think that.
I don't want to get political with anyone.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I think what you're saying is that people. I may be too patriotic if I tell like way too much patriotism is saying like, oh, if you don't buy American stuff, you're a piece of shit.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't do that.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
never do that.
Yeah.
It's whatever you want to buy, just whatever you do, try to support
Yeah.
Americans that do it right.
Yes.
Just
yeah.
try. And if you
Yeah.
can't afford it, then so be it. Spread the word.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I agree with that because that's what I was trying to get at. You know, like I think people will take your patriotism and be like, oh, he's doesn't want anyone to buy anything that's not American made.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Yeah,
think
like,
from the
yeah.
outside looking in,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, no, that's not what he's saying. He wants you to.
Uphold your principle. That was a good plug.
I didn't try. I actually just thought of that on the fly.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was one topic that I wanted to hit on because I was like, man, like, I wonder if he's got any pushback from being like,
No, dude, I haven't had any pushback.
Love it.
I think people are,
Love that.
you know, to be honest, they're craving stuff. They're craving because, dude, our world, America's just messed up with all the politicians and all the news. Like, dude,
Yeah.
we just need to get back to just being like normal Americans that
Yeah.
support each other and
Yep.
becoming like independent again from other people and from other countries and all that stuff.
yeah, no, I completely agree. Like, I could go on a big tangent about politics and stuff like that, but I just don't want to.
Yeah, yeah, I understand. I
I
understand.
don't think the listeners want to do
Yeah,
that.
no.
But like, yeah, I mean, we'd have to support each other, especially as hunters, right? Like, we need to support each other. And like,
Yeah.
when you see like Facebook's a big one. Facebook is a big one where people like bash each other.
Oh, yeah.
And like, we'll always be like, you know, oh, what? Like for the XOP stuff. I'm part of the Kind Nation page, which is their Facebook page where you can post literally anything from any company there, and people will see like they post about new product coming out. It's like, oh, you know, why isn't it made in the U.S. or something like that? It's like because they're trying to keep costs down for you guys.
Yes, exactly.
And they're open and honest about that. Like Brock and Randy are very open about that. And it's like, dude, like if you want to buy American made stuff and you can afford it, go buy a Lone Wolf or go buy whatever else. Like if you can afford it, go do it.
Yeah.
Elevate, Stand, whatever.
Yeah.
Like go buy it. But like, yeah, it's
People have to realize that there's places of, you know, there's stuff like that we need in our own society. You know, we need to have a budget option because if we didn't, we would all be broke. You know,
Yeah.
if we all went out and we had to buy a Ferrari, we wouldn't have cars. So
yeah.
it's like,
Is Ferrari made in the U.S.?
no, I'm just saying, I'm just giving an example.
It's
No,
like, wait,
no.
Is there any cars made in the U.S.?
Tesla, I think.
Is Tesla? Well, I don't
think
want to
so.
go buy a Tesla.
Yeah, but I think they are made in America. I'm pretty sure.
Is it California they're made in? Maybe I'm not even sure.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think the only car manufacturer that has anything
was-
in America might be Honda. There's some like Honda manufacturing facilities in Ohio.
Harley made in the U.S.
Yeah.
Harley should start making cars.
Yeah.
I think they should. They already make the 3-wheel ones. Why not? I don't know. I don't know if they make the 3-wheel ones or not. I think that's someone else. Spiders.
I don't know.
I think-
yeah.
yeah.
I don't think Harley makes those.
Spiders and the slingshots.
Yeah,
Those things are sick.
they are.
Like there's a few people that drive by here because Mannheim Auto Auction is down the road from here. Where they sell like those Ferraris and Lamborghinis and type stuff. And there's like slingshots that go by and they have like the music up so loud. I'm like, you might as well just buy a car.
Yeah.
You might-
Oh, they're just pimping out, dude. They're just showing
They
what
are
they got.
legit pimped out rides still. Like the trikes and the slingshots, dude, they're have like
sweet.
spinners on them and like they have like lights literally all over like the door frames. They have lights going all around. It's like, man, like it looks cool.
Oh, it
like
does.
I'd rent it for like maybe like a day,
Yeah.
but then after that I don't think I'd have any use for it. Like you ride it like a couple times and that's it.
I don't know, man. You ever been in one?
No.
They look fun.
No.
I feel like I'd be riding one every day, just cruising.
If you could put a windows in it that roll down and heat, well, I would.
maybe.
It'd have to be
It's
3-wheel.
more of like a summer vehicle, though.
Yeah. Has to be
Yeah.
like 3-wheel drive though,
Yeah.
for when you go off roading, right?
Yeah.
The backwoods of like BA or Ohio, you know, or the cornfields of Ohio,
Yeah.
right?
I don't think they'd go far.
And put a lift kit on it.
Yeah.
That'd be cool, actually.
Mudding tires.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah,
That would be cool.
that would. All right, so back to the saddle.
Mm-hmm.
So when you first got it, and you were like, okay, you had one ready. Did you take it out hunting with you? Like, how long? What was the testing process like to go out in the woods and do like the normal day stuff with the hunting with the saddle?
I mean, dude, I had the first like saddle that I could sit in by June, like my first month.
Yeah.
But every day from like June to hunting season, I was always out in the woods. Like I'd sow every day and then go out to the woods and test it out and
Yeah.
see what I liked, what I didn't like. Also on the flip side, that I neglected my landscaping business so bad during that time because I was so,
Yeah.
trying to get this off the ground. So that was, not a good thing because
Yeah.
that's my main source of income. But, yeah, that was the sacrifice that I had to make, was just everyday time, just focusing on trying to make this.
Yeah, and it's not just you, right? It's like it was just you at first.
Yeah, it was me first, but
Right.
then my dad and my girlfriend helps me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What do they do? Like, do you do most of the sewing, and then what do they do on the side?
Yeah, they do all the cutting the materials and just getting
Okay.
like all the materials prepped for me to sew.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long does it take you to sew one?
Like, if it's by myself, it takes a while. It's probably
Okay.
like 6 to 8 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So if everything's cut, pre-made, all that kind of stuff, how long does it take you to sew one?
If it's all pre-made and ready to roll, it's like
Yeah.
probably 2 hours, 3
Wow.
hours. Yeah.
So I feel like this is not something that's asked on podcasts, but like, how's business? Like, how is it? Like, is it what you expect right now, or is it kind of more than what you expect?
It's, I'm not like, yeah, I mean, it's not as great as I want it to be, but it's definitely improved, from the very beginning.
Okay.
To be honest, just for anybody to ever even consider purchasing any of my gear, that's an honor.
Yeah.
So, because I'm a nobody on the grand scheme of things.
Dude, I think that's why I wouldn't say I resonate with you, but like, it's comparable because like when we started the podcast, me and my buddy Ethan, we were nobodies. Like, we still are nobodies. Like, honestly, like, we're nobodies. Like, we're just average hunters that like to talk to people about hunting stuff. And like, I find that very comparable with you because it's like, and this is nothing on you, but it's like, you're a no-name guy. I'm a no-name guy. Like, dude, like you said, like, for someone to buy your stuff, it's like, man, that's
awesome.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's really cool. To be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Think about it. How does it feel for people to be on your podcast? Like, how does that feel?
I
It feels
mean,
awesome, doesn't it?
to have someone, like, put it this way, to have someone drive from Ohio to come here for a weekend to be on the podcast, dude, I was like, that's pretty freaking cool. And then, like, after you, then there was a guy that wanted to come down from New York, and I was like, this is pretty freaking cool. Like, what's going on here? Like, this, like, when we first started, like, it was like 20 listens, right? And it was like, that was cool. And now it's like, you have the listens we have now, and it's like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like, then it's like, people start like not knowing who you are, but like knowing the podcast. It's like, okay, cool. Like, I just find it cool, but for you, it's physically something you've made. Like, what was that first sale like?
My first sale, I'm trying to think.
Did you have the website yet? Or was it just like through Instagram he bought it, or someone bought it?
No, I think man, hold on for a second. I'm trying to think. I mean, to be honest, dude, there was like 5 people for some reason, like, supporting me right off the gate. Like, it was kind of weird.
Yeah.
And I know the 5 people. I don't know them personally, but
Right.
I still talk to them to this day. But they are the ones that first like bought the gear.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Like, what was
Super weird.
Did you have the website? Like, did you see like the orders coming in? Like,
I'm trying to. I did have the website,
Okay.
but the website that we have now is not what it used to
Okay.
be. The other
Okay.
one was kind of like a real cheaper version, kind of.
like a Wix type thing?
Yeah, it looked like that, but it was
Yeah.
Shopify.
Yeah. Yep.
But it was kind of surreal, like just seeing people order your gear from Canada, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, just like all over the place. It's just like, what in the world is going
Yeah.
on? Yeah.
So how many saddles have you sold already?
Over 100. I don't know the exact number, but
Yeah.
a lot of orders. It's starting to pick up, and I'm hoping to get more and more busy. But
Yeah.
this is all organic. I haven't paid $1 for any advertising or
Yeah.
nothing.
Yep.
So,
Dude, so to think that your BullPath logo is now going to be hanging in trees, killing deer, elk, you name it, antelope. I don't know what people want in Oklahoma right now.
yeah.
But like, or in Canada for that matter, like, to be hanging in different states that you don't necessarily know these people. Like, to me, it's like you said when I brought this out on, it's like, it's kind of surreal to see this right here in front of me when I made this, like, how many weeks ago or whatever. Like, that's pretty cool. Like,
Yeah. But to be honest, man, on the flip side, it's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just scary. Like, what is this person going to think about my gear? What happens if, the mesh rips? What happens if there's a million questions that I have, like, do they actually like it? Are they just lying to me? You know?
Yeah. Oh, I'm lying to you.
Yeah. But
No,
those questions, man, kind of freak you out, especially when you're producing. Dude, it's just kind of weird to think about it.
It is. It is
Yeah.
like you kind of get in your own head sometimes. Like it's like I know what I produce. I know what I put out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, but is this like I know I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Is this person who I just sold to actually going to like it?
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, when I saw your stuff, I forget even how I came across you, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I forget. I don't know if it was, I saw, what is his name? Hellcat Outdoors.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I saw him post and I was like, oh, what's this? And I went and followed you.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's how it happened. But like, I was like, like I said, it's a risk to buy something because I did that with a camo company and I got it and it was complete shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't good at all. And it wasn't also USA made.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't buy USA made
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
but
yeah.
like it wasn't good
Mm-hmm.
at all. So it was like, and that actually, this purchase was after that, and I was like, oh man, do I want to do this or not?
Yeah. And to be honest, I see where people come from because
Yeah.
like, this stuff's expensive.
Yeah, it is, but like in the reality of it, though, this you also have a lifetime warranty with it too.
Mhm.
So like, I'm always interested in that because what does the warranty cover? Like put it
Dude,
that
you
way.
break it, we'll fix it.
Okay.
Okay. And
All
if
right.
it can't be fixed, then we'll replace it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool to have that much. I mean, you have to, but to have that much faith in it,
Mhm.
right? That it's like, you know what? If they break it, it's going to be like 5 years down the road.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's pretty. That's
But also on the flip side, that's like for me,
Mhm.
I'm not. To be honest, dude, I'm not making much money off of this. I'm
Mhm.
like, there's been so much money that's been pumped into this just to make it a
Mm-hmm.
reality. For me, it's like I just want to make sure that I'm serving the people that represent us to the best that I possibly can.
Yeah.
So if something breaks, I'll fix it.
yeah.
I want to make sure that I stand by that. I want to make sure that I can support you
Yeah.
or whoever with their hunting endeavors
Mhm.
and just make sure you guys are all set.
Dude, that's pretty cool because you hear a lot of people like, oh, I'm making some good money off this, all that kind of stuff. But like you
Mhm.
said, your primary money is coming from the landscape that
Yep.
you own.
Mhm.
So like, if you make a little bit off this, you're probably happy with that, but you'd
Mhm.
like to make a little more off it, right?
Oh,
So,
I'd love to make a killing.
right.
Yeah.
So like, the more you sell, the better it goes.
Mhm.
So how many do you produce a week, like for the saddles? Like, do you just wait till the orders come in, then you produce them, or like how
I
does
have.
that
I mean, I have them all pre-built. So
Okay.
yeah, like I work on them every single day. I also work on other pieces of gear, but
Yeah.
I just build them until I have a huge stockpile, and
Yeah.
then just so I don't have to worry about anything. So when the orders come in, I just
Yeah.
pack it up and Yeah.
That's pretty cool to hear that because a lot of people just have warehouses, right? Make them for them, and you're doing everything
Mhm.
almost by yourself. You have some help with your dad and your girlfriend,
Mhm.
but like it's cool to see this, and I'm sure it's cool for you to see it grow,
Mhm.
like it has been growing. Like it's
Yeah.
not. I think social media is kind of like deterring a little bit because it's hard to grow on there,
Mhm.
but I think you're growing more than what you think
Oh yeah.
without social media.
Yeah.
You know.
But it takes time. Also, I
Mhm.
mean, but without social media, this wouldn't even be a
Oh
thing.
yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah. So what's the plans? What's the plans for BullPath? Like what are we doing? Like you going to mobile hunter expos, all that kind of stuff? You getting out there?
I'm trying to.
Okay.
The only issue is that like I said, with the working with the USA
Yep.
manufacturing facilities, all their gear takes time to be made, or
Yeah.
not gear, but their materials. So I'll put in an order for this kind of webbing,
Yeah.
and it's a lot of money, but it won't
Yeah.
be at my doorstep until 16 weeks out.
Yeah.
So there's
It-
deadline, the mobile hunter expos, especially here, it's what,
Yep.
in August?
August 9th to the 11th. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the materials that I need to make a whole bunch of saddles, I'm not going to have by then.
Yeah.
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 So that's the stuff that I'm still trying to work out, and I have a feeling it's going to be like this for the first couple years, but that's
Mhm.
just something I'm going to have to, build relationships,
Mhm.
understand the game and what people are wanting, and, just learning all that stuff, and
Yeah.
then eventually I'll be able to get out.
Have you got a lot of feedback for people?
Yeah.
Yeah?
A lot. I mean, all the majority of the people that buy our stuff, yeah. They
Yeah.
say they like it and they love
Yeah.
it.
Cool.
I would like people to criticize me a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what I could criticize you on right now. Honestly, the buckle, that's the one thing. That's honestly the only thing that I can think of off the top of my head.
Okay.
Well, now that I know these straps go on here,
Yeah,
that might help me a little bit.
Yeah.
But dude, like honestly, like the buckle is the only thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's legitly the only thing. The loops right here are fine. plenty big enough. These were a pain to get through,
Yeah, they are.
but that's the only thing for that.
I found out that if they're a pain to get in, you
Yeah.
know, it's a lot more secure.
Right.
So
So like it was worth it. Like the only like if I want to move it, it's going to be a pain. But like I figured that's probably the best spot to put it for me. Dude, like there's not much to criticize you on because, like I said, I haven't sat in the tree with it yet though, so I haven't really been able to do that. Like to see if there's a good hip pinch or anything like that. But how did you get rid of the hip pinch? Because I know you talked about that in one video I saw. How did you get rid of that?
I think it's subjective, to be honest.
Okay.
When it comes to different body types,
Yeah.
like what works for me might
Yeah.
not work for you. So, I mean, to be honest, dude, for me personally, I don't get any hip pinch from my saddle. But
Okay.
if a dude is 6'6" and he's 300 pounds, he might get the hip pinch. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, it's true.
So that's the weird thing. The more and more that I learn about saddles and stuff,
Yeah.
when it comes to this kind of gear, it is so subjective.
Okay.
So that's I'm not going to talk about it, but a little tactic that I have.
Okay.
But it's just stuff like this is subjective, and
Yeah.
I'm just trying to fit the mold for the masses. So
Okay. All right.
if this saddle
Okay.
works for the majority of the people, I'm going to
Yeah.
keep it like that. You
Okay.
know?
All right. And you made it what, a little wider? You said.
Yep.
So it would fit.
Yeah, it's a little wider than your traditional
Yeah.
saddles.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, honestly, like that's my biggest concern with a saddle is the hip pinch. Was the biggest thing.
Have you ever ran a back band?
Oh yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
It helps me out a lot.
Yeah. And the thing I liked about yours is how it rolls up and how it's so light to use, and that's one thing that I loved about it. Like how. Like this probably one of the easiest things to make, the back band?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. But I like how you have your patch on everything that you put out.
Yeah. When we first started, I didn't have any of the patches on anything other than the saddle.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I sold a couple without the badge.
Yeah.
You know, but I wanted to get a smaller patch with just the words BullPath, but I just stuck with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I like that.
So you released in June.
Mhm.
Did anyone get any deer out of it this year?
Yeah, we've
Yeah?
had people from Oklahoma.
Okay.
We've had people from Ohio.
Uh-huh.
We've had people from. I'm sure there's a couple other spots,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of people.
Cool.
Not a lot, like
Yeah.
compared to your other companies, but you know, it's kind of crazy.
Is there a saddle company that you kind of look up to? They're like, okay, that's
There's one company.
doing it right.
It's not saddle company, but there is one hunting company I look
Right.
up to.
okay.
That's Lone Wolf Custom Gear.
Okay.
They're
All right.
badass.
Yeah.
They're expensive, but dude,
Yes.
they make some amazing stuff.
Yeah, they're expensive. They're the USA made, everything like that. Warehouse, everything made.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a good company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard people talk bad about them, which I don't know why, but for me, I think they're really cool.
I think it's the bad side. I think people, the type of like the intensity level of them, right? Like everyone who runs a Lone Wolf, I think that's the intensity level that they're talking bad about.
Yeah,
I think
probably.
that's what it is. Like, and that was back to the fact of what I was talking about, the very patriotic or the very religious type thing. Like you have that high intensity whitetail level, right? So like that would be something that I think could deter people from getting in and going with a Lone Wolf because they see him at the Great American Outdoor Show, and it's like, man, those guys are really freaking intense. Like they're all tatted up, all this kind of stuff, like gauged ears, all that. It's like, what? Like certain people, like if you're not okay with talking to whoever, you won't want to approach that person,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
it's all about the appearance. So it's like, I mean, I have tattoos, so I'm not too worried about it. I don't have gauged ears yet. I don't think my wife would let me though.
Yeah.
I did have pierced ears though when I met her.
Yeah.
So like she might go for the ears, but
Yeah.
I don't think at 30 I don't think I'm going to even try it now.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Just people, whatever company
Yeah.
or whoever wants to support whoever, you just go for it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Just, I don't know. Just whoever you find that represents you the most,
Yep.
just be with them.
And don't like jump around because like don't jump around different companies just because they're or like the big thing right now is like the pro staffs.
Yeah, that's why I don't. That's why I've
Yeah.
stayed away from the pro staff and just created my own little team
Yep.
because I'm not doing that.
Yeah, and the big pro staffs are like, people will just jump around from company to company because they want that 10% off, they want that 20% off, or whatever that pro staff offers. Or like certain cell cam companies, I did that last year. Like I signed up for it, and they sent me 4 cell cams, and I was like, I hate these cell cams now. Like they're absolutely terrible. Like I don't advertise for them or anything. And it's like, it's the pro staff things, they draw you in because you get that free gear, right? Like that's what draws you in to it. And then they think that that's going to like help them promote it more because you got this stuff.
Yeah.
It's like,
which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
In my eyes.
It is. It really is. Yeah.
So that's why I haven't done that.
Yeah, which is good. I don't think you should go down that route because I think I've wondered that. So with the saddle now, you've made it. You have people getting a buy-in now. Have people reached out? Like, do you get those messages like, "Hey, love to work with you. Love to have you." Really?
Yes, all the time.
How often?
I mean, it's almost. I mean, it's not every day,
Right.
but it's like every week. I have a couple people asking me like, "Hey, can you send me out a piece of gear and I'll do this?" And
I'll review it.
I've done that, you know. I've done that a lot in the very beginning,
Right.
and I never returned any. Like I never got anything in return.
Like they never sent you videos. Never
yeah,
anything.
like
They
false
just got
promises,
Yep.
and that's where I'm just like, I'm not doing it anymore.
it. Yeah.
So,
Smart.
Yeah,
Smart.
I'm just going to be working with the people that I trust and that I built a relationship with, which
Yep.
is the 3 guys that I have on my team
Yep.
that represent us.
Yep.
And those guys are the guys that get the discounts and all the cool little stuff. And yeah, that's who I want to work with.
Yeah.
Nobody else where they're telling me, oh, if you do this, I'll do this. It's like,
Yep.
I've heard that already.
Yeah. Yeah. You get that a lot because like I actually stopped following. I unfollowed a lot of pages that like all they post are like gear reviews or just
giveaway.
Yeah, or like well, I'm doing giveaway 200th episode giveaway, but like
but like the people that I don't want to talk about it because it's kind of just it's
no, like,
politics.
The like people just want to like push products nonstop and
Yeah.
nonstop. Like everything I see is like big one right now is like the Moultrie Edge. Like they just keep pushing and pushing and pushing. It's like, dude, it's another trail cam company. Like it's not someone who it's a big corporation that just has all this money to push them out. Like it just blows my mind at what people will do just for free stuff. Honestly, like they'll post, their whole feed will just be nonstop the same product over and over again. Blows my mind. So let's get off that.
Yeah.
Let's get off that topic. Let's get to, because we covered your saddle. Now I want to hear how your season went in your saddle this year. Like, so how many sits did you have this year in the saddle, and like what were some encounters you had?
Dude, I had a lot. This was
Did you?
actually the
Cool.
most successful hunting season I had. Now, to be honest, I'm not a great hunter. I'm not
Dude,
a hunter that you.
Guilty as charged.
I know, but people say that. Okay, people say that. I've never killed a buck until this season. But the thing is
Did you kill a buck this season?
Yeah, but
Okay, man.
well, hold on. It
don't
was
care what
it
it
was
was.
like a 1-year-old or a 2-year-old. That's I don't know.
Dude, that one right there. I didn't even know what
Mine
he was when
it
he came.
was like that.
Oh, that's a nice buck, man.
Yeah.
It's a nice buck.
So that's the one thing that kind of scares me a little bit is like I don't want people thinking that I'm a killer or a hunter, like or not a hunter, but like a really good hunter.
Right.
Because in reality I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm still learning.
But you love it.
Yeah, I
Like
love
you're
it.
passionate about it.
I love it. Yeah.
You're only passionate about whitetails? Or there's something else?
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah? Elk? Would you ever hunt elk?
I would hunt.
Would you hunt elk out of your saddle?
I would. Yeah.
Oh, let's do it.
I mean, who wouldn't? That'd be
Apply
sweet.
for PA.
What do you mean?
PA elk.
You guys have elk?
Yeah. Up in Elk County.
I bet. I mean,
Yeah.
you guys have some mountains.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go through that. So what was it? Let's walk through that whole process of getting that buck down. All right. Let's go.
Well, the first thing that I learned was that all my years previously, I would always hunt in the same public. Like I would hunt in public, but in the same spot because that's where I saw the deer all the time.
Yep.
And I was always like that up until this year, where I was proud of my own saddle and stuff. So I'm like, screw it, I'm going everywhere.
Yeah.
So then I started learning, a little bit about like funnels and like food sources and all that stuff. So then I started hunting those areas, and then that's where I was able to capitalize on my buck that I got this year and the 2 does that I got this year. And
Dude.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
yeah,
So how many years have you said you've been hunting now?
since 16, but there
Okay.
has been years where I didn't hunt that much, like maybe
Okay.
a couple times a
Yeah.
year. Yeah.
Okay.
Especially during my landscaping season, I wouldn't hunt that much because during September, October, November, I'm
Yeah.
doing a lot of fall cleanups and gutter cleanings, and
Yeah.
then once winter hits, I'm snow plowing.
Yeah.
So,
So you don't really necessarily give you, like, I know a lot of landscape companies here in PA, they give themselves off for the whole season of like whitetail pretty much. Like, so you don't do that, right?
I did last year.
You did? Okay.
It
Oh,
just
yeah.
I didn't take a lot of time off.
Yeah.
It's just when I didn't have work, I'm like, I'm going to the woods. So that's what I did.
Yes,
That's
yes.
what I did.
I love that because
And
that's
that
what
was-
I do.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to do. Like I've been building my landscaping business, and the first couple years was really hard and stuff. But now that I'm sort of established, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take the day off, and I'm just going to go hunt.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
So this buck. All right. So do you remember the day, the weather, what kind of tree you were set up in, or like were you over the food source, or like what was it?
It was October, I think October 16th, and it was like, I think it was like an hour before sunset, so it was like 5 p.m. And I was just sitting real close to a cornfield, but it funneled down into like a point, and then there was like this major trail. And to be honest, I'd never been back there, and I was just like, okay, let's just sit here and see what happens.
Yeah.
And I climbed up in this like maple tree, but there were so many little limbs and stuff, and it was only like 15 feet tall, but I was like in the maple tree with branches all over the place, and I'm just sitting there. I saw a couple does, and I already got my does, and I'm like, whatever. And then next thing I know, I'm just sitting there eating like a tuna sandwich.
Tuna sandwich?
Yeah.
That's a different one.
Yeah. I'm just eating a tuna sandwich, and next thing I know, I see this buck just out of nowhere just started walking. I'm like, oh God. I grabbed my bow, and I just lined the pin up and just took my shot, and it died right there.
Like, did it run very far or not at all?
No, it ran like 10 feet and dropped.
Really?
Yeah.
You pretty good shot? Would you consider yourself a pretty good shot?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. All
but
right.
I'm thankful that all the deer that I've ever taken have never ran more than like 50 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's always been like a heart punch or just double lung.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I haven't got one yet with the bow. I got one with the crossbow. That one right there, the 8-point right here.
Okay.
And, yep. Everything else was rifle. Yeah. So, I mean, it's... I don't know. I had an opportunity at a really nice one, but I was first year bow hunting, and I didn't draw back in time. I was in a climber, and I didn't try to draw back in time.
Yep.
Like, I was waiting until he got to the spot to draw, and that was my mistake. But now I know that, so it's like he was literally right there. But I didn't draw.
You learn.
You learn quick.
And that's what's awesome.
Yeah.
Because my first couple years, dude, I missed like 4 different does just shooting, like just not knowing what to do. My first bow and arrow.
Yeah.
I didn't have the right draw length. I didn't have the right arrow size, and yeah.
But you think about how like far hunting has come in general, because like back when like I was first getting hunting, like archery was big, but it wasn't like big like you know go get your bow tuned up, go with the right arrow length, all that kind of stuff. Now it's like you have all this stuff, free knowledge pretty much to gain knowledge.
Yeah.
Like the level of failure, I guess. Like there's not really that failure level anymore. So it's like you already know. Like you go to a bow shop, they know your draw length, they know what arrows you need, all that kind of stuff. Like you went through the full trial of like not having the right draw, not having the right.
Just literally my stock arrows that were like this freaking long, and I draw my bow and the arrow's still way out here. It's like that's how I killed my first deer.
Yeah,
so
I mean but that's the learning process, right? Like that's pretty cool. Like it's always fun to learn that stuff because I think now, and we've said this on multiple podcasts, and it might be the listeners might be tired of hearing this, but like. Kids now getting into it are wanting that big buck right away. Like they're not going to that, just shooting the thing that makes them happy. Like when that buck came up, you probably like,
oh dude, I was pumped.
Yeah,
I was pumped. It was cool. It was like, I don't know, man. Just everybody has their own walk of life, and I don't put pressure on myself when I'm out hunting, dude. Because I love it. I love it being out there. It's my peacetime. I love just sitting out in nature and watching the birds and the squirrels and seeing the deer.
I hate squirrels.
I love them.
I hate them.
I mean, I'll shoot them, but I
absolutely hate them.
I just love nature, dude.
Yeah, nature's really cool.
It's awesome.
I had a cabin in Clinton County that like seen elk, bear, Bear's a little scary though
Yeah.
to see them, like especially when you walk through the woods with a bow and there's like 4 bear and it's like you're walking between mom and her 3 cubs. And
Oh man.
that's kind of
Yeah.
nerve wracking. You have an arrow knocked when you walk down and they come running down the mountain towards you, and it's that's
Yeah.
butthole might pucker a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, like seeing that stuff, like that's wild trout, like even like not native trout. What am I saying? Wild. That's I don't fish, so
Yeah.
I don't even care
Yeah.
that much. But native trout, like in there, like that's cool to see, like the natural stuff, like you see,
Yeah.
unpressured stuff. Like that's what I love. That's why I try and get like the areas that like aren't necessarily pressured too much, because
Yeah.
I like to see deer like their natural habitat, kind of.
And it's just nice to get away from like the day-to-day life,
Yes.
putting the phone away, and
Yeah.
that's what I do. I turn my phone off, put it away, and I just try to be with myself. You know.
Yeah.
Sometimes it sucks.
Yeah.
You're sitting there bored out of your mind, but
Yeah.
imagine like this is what our ancestors used to live. This is how they used to live, and why are we so bored? You know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's good to put the phone down and just focus on your being in the present and the nature and everything.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Like it, I was almost shot a half rack 4-point this year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was one step away from getting put an arrow through the Boilermaker.
Yeah.
Like he was very close. Like
Yeah.
he got behind one tree and his other hoof was about to come down,
Mm-hmm.
and he backed down. I was like, you son of a.
He sensed something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He sent it was so weird because the wind wasn't even going that way,
Mm-hmm.
but like being that close to me, I think it could have been because like my ground scent maybe, because it was the ground scent would have been blowing right at him, so it could have been from that. But you never know, and that's what I think is cool about hunting is like you never know. Like I always personally love hearing people say like, oh man, like I planned this out, and I planned that out, and then like the plan didn't go to
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Like that's hunting. That's literally like you expect the deer to come and walk left out of its bed, but really went right because for some reason it just wanted to.
Yep.
Like we have no control over this thing, and that's the cool part. Like
Yeah.
there's not a lot. There's a lot in life that we have control over, but like hunting, we have absolutely no control over it at all, and that's the beautiful part.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. That is the most beautiful part to me, at least.
yeah.
So.
The unknown,
Yep.
chasing the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
Love it, man.
Risking your life sometimes, just enjoying
Yeah.
God's creation.
Yep. So what was that? This tree stand? I didn't ask this, but what was the tree stand that got stolen?
Field and Stream.
One of the big like.
I think it was like $100 when I got it.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Yeah.
It had your normal just platform with
Mm-hmm.
the 2 cables, and then it had that mesh seat, the mesh like the stretched out black mesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved
I had
it.
that one.
Yeah.
I had a climber with that, like the mesh. I think that's Field of Stream like type thing is like that mesh seat. I think they put that on everything because I had a climber that was the same way.
Yep.
It was very comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
but it's I don't think I can go back to. I don't think I can go back to like a hang-ons. Like I'll still use
Yeah.
hang-ons,
Mm-hmm.
like just to use them. I was like that one right there. That's the retrograde.
Okay.
But that one's a good hybrid one, like
Yeah.
to run with a saddle.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have that, but then if you're doing all day, you can actually sit down on it. So it's pretty cool to do that.
Yeah.
But man, this saddle hunting is just so much more easier.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're connected to a tree literally 100% of the time.
Yep.
Like there's maybe okay 99% of the time. There's that 1% where you don't have to. They're not connected right away, right?
Mhm.
But yeah, it's saddle hunting is the way
The
to go.
coolest thing in my eyes is being able to shoot literally in any which way you want.
Yep.
Like if there's a deer, behind the tree, you can just easily swivel around and
Yep.
get them. Or if there's a deer coming up behind you, you
Yeah.
can just swivel around and get them.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how like saddle hunting has progressed so much, right?
Yeah.
Like it was actually made fun of for the longest time, like these saddle hunter guys, you
Yeah,
know. And
yeah.
now it's like saddle hunting is a thing.
Yeah, it's cool. I think it's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
it's
why I
kinda
do
funny.
it.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
it's funny how it transitions to that.
Mhm.
It's freaking awesome.
Yeah. To be honest, I wish I found it earlier.
Yeah.
That's the crappy thing.
Like
I
you think you would have made your own saddle though? Like you think if you didn't go if you didn't get your tree stand stolen, if you didn't go through that whole process, I
Yeah.
don't think you would have created this.
No, not at all.
Yeah. So,
So-
everything happens for a reason, right?
Yep,
And that's why we're here right now.
Yep.
Because of this.
Mhm.
It's pretty cool, man.
it is.
What would be your biggest advice or tip to a listener? It could be hunting wise or life wise, or even like your biggest tip for running your saddle.
Any tip
Mm-hmm.
to anything?
Yep.
I'm not a big gear junkie,
Okay.
so it's not like I don't have crazy tips or any like little DIY type stuff.
Yeah.
But my biggest thing to everybody is just sticking to what you believe in, you know? So that's why my slogan is uphold principle. Just making sure that you are always continuously just upholding what you believe in. Don't bow down to anybody. Don't let anybody persuade you from your own beliefs, and stand up and don't, don't back down.
Yeah.
That's my biggest thing.
I love that, man.
Because that's what America needs, man. We need men to stand up and stand up for what's right.
You a big Toby Keith guy?
Toby Keith, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't listen to music too much.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
what would be your? I've been thinking about doing this. So what would be your entrance song?
entrance song?
Yeah. It's like if you were on WWE, all right?
Okay.
What would be your entrance song?
My entrance song
Yep.
would be probably that Kanye West song. La 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 la. Wait till I get my money. That song.
Okay. All right. I like that. All right. That's a different one. I did not expect that.
That's my entrance
Did
song.
not expect that one.
Yeah.
All right. My entrance song changes all the time.
What would
Like,
yours be?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
What kind of
honestly.
music do you listen to?
Everything.
Yeah,
So I
me
listen
too.
to country, rock. Like the one I've been listening to right now, is what is that? It was Kingdom.
Mm.
Why am I going to that? It's what is it? It's the Cody Rhodes theme song when he walks in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you watch WWE.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's the nope.
Yeah, it was a good song.
Yeah, that one. And then I could go back and I listen to Hardy.
Yeah.
And then it's like I find another rock and roll song, or like when I go for runs, it's Metallica or AC/DC or something like that. Like
Yep.
something gets me pumped up.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just it changes every time. It depends on my mood.
Yep.
Like certain times, like before a podcast, I like listen to my pump up music.
Mhm.
Like okay,
Yeah.
I'm coming out here. I'm doing it.
Yep.
Yeah, man. But it's hunting. Sometimes when I have a good day out in the woods, it's I listen to like Kiss or something like that. Like I feel like really confident about going back there the next time. And I go back there and I don't have any luck. So it's
Yeah.
like, it changes all the time. But
Yeah.
I like hearing that. It's something that's not hunting related at all that I like to hear about, like what someone entrance song would be.
Mm-hmm.
So like just WWE, just random shit.
Yeah.
Like, I told my wife, I was like, I think I might watch WWE again.
Yeah.
And like I tried to the other night, like it was on Peacock.
It's just not the same.
It's not like I was like watching. I was like, okay, one match was done. The next match came on, and then it was over. And I was like,
What in the world?
what just happened? Like,
Yeah.
it was only half an hour. I was like, how can you build anything from a half an hour?
Mm-hmm.
But that was like amateur ones on Fridays.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know what Friday would be, but I know Monday Night Raw is like a good one to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stay awake on Monday nights to watch it.
Same.
It's just like, yeah, waking up at 5.
Did you watch WWE when you were younger?
Oh yeah, me and my dad always watched it, and then I found out it was fake, and I stopped.
Yeah. What about Jeff Hardy? You remember Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy, where he did the Swanton bomb and he went like this?
Sounds familiar.
He
but I
had
don't-
like those fishnet things on his arms.
okay.
That was
yeah.
my favorite wrestler.
Mine was Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, okay.
That was my guy.
Yeah.
Stone Cold and The Rock.
Mm.
That's those.
Okay.
are my
Yeah.
two.
You're 30. You're 5 years
Yeah.
older than me.
Yes.
So
Yeah. That would be
that's a little different era.
the Rock and Stone Cold were the ones, and then I watched a little bit when the Boogeyman was around.
Mm-hmm.
Who was another one there?
What about like the Undertaker?
Yep.
Yeah.
Remember him?
Kane.
Yep.
Yeah.
Those the Boogeyman creeped me out.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Undertaker creeped me out as a kid. Probably would still creep me out. Honestly, the Boogeyman, he'd go underneath the stage,
Oh, I know.
and then it'd be like, whoa, what the?
Yeah.
Like that's I don't want to watch that.
Yeah.
And then like I mean, I think if you're going in the era that I was, it's like Stone Cold and The Rock were like the main
big
people.
guys,
Yeah. I mean, they made WWE to where it is now, right? Like I mean, The Rock is like $1 billion guy now.
Mm-hmm.
And John Cena too. Can't forget that.
Can't forget like Hulk Hogan though.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Hulk Hogan, and then you got
Yep.
what was that big giant dude? His name was like the
Oh.
Giant or something. I forget his name.
The Big Show.
No, there's the Big Show, but I'm
Right.
talking like Hulk Hogan's era. There was like a big like Andre the Giant. That was his name.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Those guys. Yeah. Hulk Hogan. I used to watch his like the Hogan Experience.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it was Hulk Hogan,
Mhm.
right? But man, like those are the I wish, because now it's like as I'm 30, it's like hard to get back into it because I don't know like the people.
Yeah.
But like if The Rock and Stone Cold got back in, like The Rock and John Cena are thinking about getting back into it. I'm like that might be a sign to get back into it now because those are like the guys
Yeah.
back then.
Yeah.
Stone Cold, he drinks too many beers now. He can't get back into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Did you know Hulk Hogan's theme song? It's man, I forget what the song is, but I listen to that song all the time when I want to get pumped up. It says,
what is it?
"This is a
Hulk Hogan.
yeah Hulk Hogan theme song." You'll hear it. Fight for your life, fight for your right. Bam, dan, dan. It's a good song.
Hulk Hogan.
I listen to that song.
Is
when
it
I'm
real?
sewing.
It's Real American.
Yeah, Real American. I listen to that song when I'm getting pumped up. Yeah. This is his theme song.
This should be your BullPath scene.
Yeah, I thought about it. I listen to the song when I'm sewing.
It's like,
The YouTube version is way better.
oh yeah, because of the video version of it. Yeah.
I don't even think that's the original guy.
Yeah, it says.
Is it?
No, it's probably not. It's a theme song, so I'm probably not even.
But that's Hulk Hogan's theme song.
Man, that is.
That's another song I would use for my
Okay.
entrance.
All right.
That's a sweet song.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, man, this podcast has been great.
Mhm.
I love having in-person guests. It's been awesome having you in here. And plus, you came from Ohio.
Yep.
Loved it. You went to Gettysburg this morning,
Yep.
which that was pretty cool, right?
Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah. Got to see all the mountains in PA. You drive through them anyway.
Yeah.
Eventually, you'll get out here and hunt, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We'll make something happen. Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah. But yeah, man. Let people know where they can follow you at. Go check out your saddles, all that kind of good stuff.
Okay. Instagram, BullPath Gear. Facebook, I think it's just BullPath.
Mm-hmm.
And then my website, bullpathgear.com.
Cool. Well, it's been awesome, like I said, having you in studio.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Remember, everyone, to keep hunting and enjoy the process. There we go.
Oh, what an awesome! That was awesome, dude.
Yeah, man. That was
I felt like I was in a Joe Rogan podcast.